Hello, everyone. It's Shan here. I bet you didn't think you'd be seeing me again. Well, no, I've made a few videos by this point. Anyway, I'm going to explain why I've been gone for such a long time, and how I'm doing since some of you were worried about that, which I appreciate so much. I don't want this to take too long, but it probably will be a somewhat long video. To explain this all, there's a story I'm gonna have to tell, so, yeah. When I was 13, I met a girl, and I ended up becoming best friends with her. Yeah, the story goes that far back. Anyway, I ended up liking her pretty quickly. She was sweet and funny, and it's not like I could just stop myself from liking her. But as I've mentioned in streams before, I've never really liked myself. So I knew there was no point in trying. Sadly, she had to move in under a year. We kept talking over the internet, but in real life, every year that passed, I was seen more as the weird kid that no one really liked. I had a decent amount of friends, but most people avoided me. A few years passed, and this girl eventually realized I might have liked her, and she asked me out, because it turned out she felt the same way. For the first time in like 5 years, I felt truly happy again. Unfortunately, I had to stay as an online relationship because she had a strict family, but my relationship with her was one of the few things I'm very sure I didn't mess anything up in. And that takes a lot to say because I always think I screw up everything. But I was as nice as I could be and supported her through all her problems, and I tried to make sure she felt safe with me. One day she disappeared, which wasn't unusual. She was trying her hardest to graduate early and was often gone for a few weeks, a month. But this time was different because she was gone for like 5 months. I should also mention I have absolutely horrible memory, so this entire timeline might be a little off, but like some months might be off, but whatever. Just take it with a grain of salt. Deep down, I kind of knew she wasn't going to come back, and I hate to say it, but it really messed with me. It kind of broke me. And that's where everything started to go downhill. By this point, I was 16. It was in the beginning of 2020 that she finally came back, only to break up with me, saying she couldn't handle a relationship at the moment, which, as much as it hurt, I understood and tried to help her still. I even kinda gave her money since she was struggling, and I saw it as like a nice goodbye gift, And don't get me wrong, I'm glad I did that. Or I guess I should say I'm glad I was willing to do that. I like to think that's a nice thing to do. But I shouldn't have given it to her, because shortly after that, I found out her breakup reasoning was a lie. During those months, she was actually cheating on me with someone else. How fun. So that hurt even more. And depression 1 million. I began to stop caring about a lot of things, practically everything. My motivation dropped. Which is why there was like barely any videos. I couldn't bring myself to be as cheerful or kind as I was before, because in my mind, if she didn't think it was good enough, who would? And yes, I know it's silly, but it was my first relationship and I've always been sensitive. So I know it's a dumb reaction, but it's not like I can help it. I'm sorry. Anyway, I couldn't really handle things anymore. Not just the relationship side of things, but everything in life just seemed to be getting worse. Everything kind of just started crumbling down after that happened. So I kind of just started doing whatever without thinking about it. Needless to say, this caused me to make a lot of mistakes. Eventually, at the end of the year, something within me kind of snapped out of it, and I thought, oh god, what happened to me? This isn't who I want to be. I'd hurt people I cared for, whether directly or indirectly. So I started on a journey to better myself, to try to go back to being the person I used to be, if not better. In fact, there's a quote from Undertale that I've always loved, which is, "Do you believe the worst person can change? That anyone can be a good person if they just try." And I do believe that. But as hard as I tried, I can't believe that I deserve to change, that I'm a good person now. But everyone said I am better, that I am not a bad person, at least not now, that I screwed up, but I'm trying to fix it, so that's good. But, look, logically, I know I'm not that bad of a person, at least not anymore. I think I've done a good job at trying to be better. Whether it's worked out the way I wanted it to or not, I have tried. Emotionally, I still think I'm not that great of a person, and that I probably don't deserve anything, really. But, with the help of my therapist, psychologist, and Finn, I'm finally starting to feel the tiniest bit better. No matter how small it may be, it's it's something. Speaking of Finn, I do need to say this. Finn is the one person who's stuck by my side this whole time. I'm not lying when I say he saved my life multiple times. I'm forever grateful for him and his help and support. One of those times actually was the night that I quit YouTube. I was not doing well. The next was like the day after my birthday. Lots of stuff not going well. I don't think I need to say it, but all of that stuff, it still messes with me a lot. I have nightmares about it pretty often. I wouldn't say every night, but a lot. They're definitely less frequent than they used to be. So I hope eventually I can feel free from it all. I hope. I don't know if I deserve it, but I'd like it. To anyone else that I've cared for and hurt, I know I've apologized multiple times, and that apologies don't equal forgiveness or undo anything, but I'll say it again. I highly doubt any of you are even watching this or want anything to do with me anymore, but I'm so sorry. I wish I could undo all of it, fix it all, but I know that's not possible. So I just hope all of you are happier now, and that you succeed with everything you wanted to do. All of you had so much talent. I wish I could have been a better friend for all of you. And to my viewers, I'm sorry for everything as well. I've disappointed you time and time again, whether it's from release dates being wrong, animations not being the highest quality, or being rude in the comments. I also want to specify I'm not looking for pity, nor do I want you guys to see me as a victim, because I know I screwed this up myself, but I'm trying my best to make it up to everyone. I know that's not possible, but I'm trying to make it better. I never actually wanted to leave YouTube, but I felt like I had to. I couldn't handle all the problems happening anymore, and I just wanted to disappear. Now, some of you may be thinking, the sad tone of this all makes it seem like I'm leaving again. Well, here's an update on the channel. If I'm being honest, I almost sold it. I just couldn't look at it anymore, or even hear my own name without thinking about how much I hated the whole situation and myself. I eventually found a Discord server for selling social media accounts, and I was kind of ignored, probably because I specified I'd like it if it was another animator who I sold it to, but you know, that's probably why. But eventually someone finally messaged me. I'm sure you've noticed in the comments a bit, but someone named Hallowed Pumpkin. I talked with them a bit, and I basically explained to them a lot of the stuff that happened and why I felt like I had to sell it, and that I just can't handle having an internet presence anymore, and that I wanted privacy, that all of the negativity was just too much. And they knew I really didn't want to quit, but they definitely understood the privacy thing, which is actually why I keep calling them they, because I don't want to give any identifying info about them, because they value internet privacy a lot, so that's part of why they understood. But they offered me a deal. They offered to take over the channel in terms of social interaction, but I get to stay making stories and producing Vengeance, and that they liked my stories, so they didn't want me to have to give them up. And the reason why they kind of understand this all is because they were forced to quit an old YouTube channel of theirs when they were younger, so they know how much it sucks. So to simplify, I'm still here. This is no longer my channel. This is our channel. This isn't the Mr. Shanman channel. This is Shanman Studios. We may expand our team someday, but just know, even if I ever disappear, the channel should be in good hands. Pumpkin knows my stories now, and they promised that if I ever had to leave for good, they would finish my stories for me, so at least you won't be left on a cliffhanger. Around the time I realized I should start trying to be a better person is around the time I started making serotonin streams. This was a way for me to try and bring happiness back to everyone after all the sadness that had happened, and you may have noticed all of them are kinda gone, and a few people have said that they actually miss them. Well, good news! I have a second channel, Shan Gaming. There will be new videos on there soon, as well as bite-sized highlights from the serotonin streams, and the first highlight video is actually up, so you should check that out if you're interested. Look, the very first serotonin stream was like 4.5 hours. We edited it down into like 18 minutes. So don't worry, they're not too long. Maybe as it goes on, they might get a little longer, but I'm gonna try to keep them small, despite the fact some streams went on for like 8 hours. We'll do our best, okay? I also don't manage that channel. Pumpkin does, but technically there's more interaction with me since I'm actually like constantly existing on that. So one final thing, from the bottom of my heart, thank you all for worrying about me during the time I was gone, for caring and being supportive. I'll continue to do my best to be someone who deserves this kind of kindness. I appreciate all of you, even if in the past sometimes it seemed like I didn't, but I do. But there is One viewer I want to thank in particular, Nightmare Bree. Bree is one of the kindest and most amazing fans I could have ever asked for. She's always here when we upload or make a community post, and heck, if you guys didn't know, she's actually working on a Vengeance fan-made alternate universe, and she said she'd take it down if I didn't support it. Like, oh my god, do you not realize how much of an honor it is to have someone make their own version of a story I made? I really don't deserve that. I am very thankful. Bree, point is, you're amazing, and thank you all for all the kind words you've given me. I hope that you'll always be here. Thank you all for listening to this probably long video. If you made it this far, I appreciate it. We'll see you soon. Bye!